Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a corporate mega deal that has put the world's #2 wrestling company into a serious strategic headlock. You've got media giants, billion-dollar gambles, and a rivalry that has just been completely turned on its head.
Seriously, think about that for a second. This isn't some hypothetical business school problem. This is the brand new reality for All Elite Wrestling, or AEW. A recent industry-shaking merger has put them in an almost impossible spot, and it's setting the stage for one of the biggest corporate showdowns in entertainment. You see, for years, the battle lines were pretty simple. You had WWE, the global juggernaut, teaming up with the streaming king, Netflix. And on the other side, you had the challenger, AEW, backed by the media empire of Warner Bros. Discovery. But a shocking new deal has completely scrambled this map, creating a massive and, frankly, unavoidable conflict. Okay, so let's get right into the nuts and bolts of the deal that set all of this in motion. And trust me, this isn't just some simple buyout. This was a seismic event for the entire media world.
Here it is, the number that's making all the waves. In a deal scheduled to close in late 2025, Netflix is acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery studio and streaming assets for a staggering $82.7 billion. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of some countries. It's huge.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. The way this deal is structured, it's not a straightforward purchase. No, they used a complex financial move called a spin merge, and it was basically designed to let Netflix cherry-pick the best parts.
The easiest way to think about it is like this. Warner Bros. Discovery is essentially being split into two completely separate companies. It's like a corporate divorce where one partner gets the brand new beachfront condo and all the cool stuff, and the other partner, well, they're left with the old house and most of the mortgage. And this right here is the absolute core of the problem for AEW. Netflix is walking away with the parts of the business that are all about future growth. You know, the Warner Bros. Movie studio and, critically, HBO Max. Meanwhile, the traditional cable channels like TNT and TBS, the very channels where AEW shows actually air, are being spun off into a new, separate company. This table just lays it all out perfectly. Look, Netflix gets the prized assets, the streaming platform, the big-name content studios. The new Discovery Global is left with the basic cable channels and, this is the real kicker, the majority of the old company's massive debt. This is what creates a bad co-situation for AAG's TV partner.
So, how does this all boil over into a conflict? Well, this deal puts Netflix in a very, very strange and very powerful position. They're now financially tied to two of the fiercest competitors in the business.
And let's not forget, just a year before all this, Netflix dropped over $5 billion on a 10-year exclusive deal with WWE, AEW's #1 rival. That is a massive, massive bet on that one brand.
Meanwhile, you have AEW's multi-year deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, which is valued at around $185 million a year. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a huge deal, but it's a fraction of WWE's, and a key part of that deal included streaming rights on the very same platform Netflix just bought, Max.
I mean, the numbers really do speak for themselves. Netflix has a $5 billion reason to make sure WWE succeeds and thrives on its platform. The AEW deal, which they pretty much just inherited, is a drop in the ocean by comparison. It's not hard to guess what their priorities are going to be.
So, here's the bottom line. Why would Netflix ever promote AEW's content on Max? Every person they convince to watch AEW is a person who isn't watching WWE, the property they're paying a massive premium for. It's a direct and, frankly, unavoidable conflict of interest.
All of this leaves AEW in a really, really dangerous new reality. They're now tied to two different partners who have deeply conflicting interests, and that creates a very, very unstable future. Think about it. On one side, their TV home is now this financially weaker company that's more focused on just staying afloat, what some analysts are calling a potential zombie network. And on the other side, their entire streaming future is controlled by their rival's biggest cheerleader. This creates a huge risk of what's called algorithmic suppression, where the platform's own recommendation engine could just bury AEW content to favor its $5 billion baby, WWE. And if you look at this timeline, you can see just how urgent this is. The clock is absolutely ticking. AEW is stuck in this lame duck period. With their contract expiring at the end of 2027, they've got a really short window to figure this out as all these massive corporate dominoes fall around them. But This isn't checkmate, not by a long shot. AEW has several really smart, strategic moves it can make to get out of this corporate trap and take back control of its own future.
Now, this isn't just a list of options. It's a coherent game plan. It's like a 3-move combo. The whole thing hinges on step 3, using antitrust leverage. By going to regulators and arguing that it's anti-competitive for one company to control streaming for both top wrestling promotions, AEW creates a legal mess for Netflix. And that headache is the leverage they use for step 1, negotiating a kill fee. Basically, Netflix pays AEW to walk away. That cleans up Netflix's conflict of interest and frees AEW to go after step 2, finding a brand new, unconflicted streaming partner.
And the silver lining here is that there are other huge players in the streaming game. You've got Amazon Prime Video, which has been pouring money into live sports. Apple TV Plus is always hunting for premium content to grow its service. And of course, YouTube's global reach is just undeniable. Any one of these companies could give AEW the dedicated, unconflicted partnership it needs to really take off.
So, when all the dust settles, what's the big takeaway? Well, the entire competitive landscape of professional wrestling has been fundamentally and probably permanently changed by this one single corporate deal.
The fight just isn't on even ground anymore. It's become what you'd call asymmetric warfare. WWE is now backed by a global tech giant that is laser-focused on growth and expansion. AEW, on the other hand, is tied to a legacy media spinoff that's just focused on survival. That gap in resources and ambition has just widened dramatically. And this all leaves us with one final big question that goes way beyond just wrestling. As these media and tech giants keep merging and consolidating all this power, is there actually still room for a thriving number 2? Or does the modern media landscape just inevitably create a winner-take-all market?